Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for another match preview to the Chelsea versus Bournemouth game, last game of the season. Guys, I know my Wi-Fi is playing up at the moment. I don't know why it's doing that. It will sort itself out in a second. So I can see that it's pretty low at the moment. Apologies for the quality at the moment. It will sort itself out. Big up to every single one of you that are in here, guys. We've got lots to discuss. We've got the Estevao. Discussion to have. We've also signed a new set piece coach, which we'll be getting into. We've got a lot to discuss and get over with as well, guys. Smash a like, subscribe, and let's cue that intro. Paul, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for another show, another match preview to the last game of the season as well, which we'll be getting into. Guys, sorry about the quality at the moment. It will sort itself out. I don't know what's going on with it. It will sort itself out. I'm sorry. It always does this at the beginning. I don't know why. It's really irritating me as well, how it keeps doing it. But I'm going to get straight into things anyway. Hope you guys are all well and smashing the likes, guys. Do me a favor, get the likes up. Let's get the likes up if you can. I'm going to make myself smaller so that obviously you can't see me. You can't see me. I'm just in the bottom corner, as you can see. Let's say hello to you guys in the chat. Over 45 people in the building already, guys. Tap the screen, share it out. Let's get the likes up if we can as well, guys. Come on, run it up, run it up, run it up. Ashraf says, Jacob Steinberg woke up and chose violence. We've got that. Shivendra, welcome. He says, big up, Jim. Enjoyed your discussions with Don and Danai. Big up to you, bro. How are you? Good to see you. Eden, what you saying, guys? Over 50 people here already. Smash the likes. Seb, how are you as well? Eden, welcome. Please answer me. Answer what, Eden? Blue, EDHD, welcome. How are you, Seb? Guys, come and say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're from as well. Chelsea Fan TV, man, let's go. Let's go, bro. Big love to you, Seb. How are you, brother? We've got lots to get into as well, guys. Keep smashing the like, subscribe if you're new here as well, guys. So we're going to start off with this news in and around Cold Palmer, guys. Cold Palmer, as we like to call him. He is so cold. Of course he is. We know he is. He has won the Young Player of the Year. Some people may argue he should have maybe had the chance of winning the Player of the Year. Foden ended up winning that, which is no real shock to me on the back of tomorrow, then potentially winning in the league. But when you look at the Young Player of the Year, the fact that Foden was even in that was quite shocking in itself, to be honest with you. 24 years old. Doesn't make sense why he's even in there. But he has won it, and it says here from Con, he says his first season at Chelsea will go down in history. What a season this man has had, and it will go down in history. He's not only broken so many records like the one of Eden Hazard's, but this guy has really stepped up and he's set the bars higher for himself. The next question for Cole Palmer is, can he be consistent? Can he continue to not? Maybe he might not hit the heights as he has this season, but at least follow on from that, which is going to be the key moving forward. We want to see. You want to see him to keep going. Big up, Jim. It's Cat's critic on the panel today. He might, I can't remember actually. I'm not too sure. Actually, not too sure. Guys, keep smashing the likes if you can. People over Twitter, welcome. Good to see you guys. Chelsea Fan TV as well. Welcome. GNA TV, welcome, guys. Keep running up the likes, guys. Hit the thumb below me if you can. That helps the YouTube and everything as well, guys. Let's go. Come on, Chelsea. Let's have it big time. So congratulations to Cole Palmer on that. And it also kind of confirms the debate for this season. A big debate in and around who's better, who's the one, who's the guy. Well, you got your young player of the season, Cole Palmer. You got the player of the season, Foden. And then you got Saka just holding his Saka sauce. He's hot Saka sauce. And I think that kind of confirms the type of season that these three have had. And don't get me wrong, I think Saka's a very good player. A lot of people, I know there's a lot of people that are up against Saka, especially in the Chelsea fan base. I think he's a very good player. But when you look at individually what these two have done, Foden for me stood out massively for Man City, higher than Haaland, De Bruyne, all of these players. I actually think Rodri should have also been involved this season. I thought he played very well, and I think he deserved maybe potentially to have been up there, but he didn't. And then you obviously have Cole Palmer, who is the Young Player of the Year as well. So big up to him. Guys, nearly 100 people in the building, 4 minutes in. Keep smashing the likes, guys, as well. Big up, Gems. Good to see you guys. Come and get your comments in the chat, guys, as well. Good luck and congratulations to Cole Palmer on that. We're going to go into comments from Daniel Finkenstein now, guys. Daniel Finkenstein. Here we go. Comments from Daniel Finkenstein in regards to the idea, the philosophy, the project. What is it? Why are we buying so many young players? What is it? Well, Daniel Finkenstein's come out and said this. We have been buying the next generation of world's best football players. And these players are coming to Chelsea. They are turning down other clubs and big money offers to come to this one because they can see we have a project and others are joining us. What is that project? Obviously, that was on the Chelsea FC website. I don't know if there was any more. Let's have a look. Let's see if there's any more on the Chelsea FC website in regards to Daniel Finkenstein's comments. I don't know if there is. I don't think there is. No. So, effectively, he's arguing is a lot of these players are signing for Chelsea because of the idea of where we're going in the future. And when you look at the signings of Kendry Payas, Estevao, who we're going to be talking about in a second as well, there's some breaking news as well that's just come in as well. Some breaking news, guys, that I am going to share with you very soon as well. Make sure you keep staying with us. I'll get this out I'll probably have to get this out in a second, actually, just to share with you guys. So we're going to have to move that to there and get straight into that one because there is some breaking news coming in and around Chelsea and the transfer market that we're going to get into. Tobbs, good to see you. Jake, guys in here, welcome. Come and smash the likes. So, yeah, the thing with this is, what is the project? What is the idea? Well, it looks like we're, padding up in specific areas, especially on the right of the midfield side of things. But when you look at where we're trying to go and what we're trying to do with the future, the clear idea of what I think we're trying to do is that we're buying these young players that are going to be bought in, that are going to be starting at this football club, I feel. Not all of them. A lot of them are going to be sold for profit. And I think there's a business element to what they're trying to do, but there's also the idea of how getting the best players possible that are being touted as some of the best in that for their age, bringing them over and trying to fit them in. And the ones that do well and take their chances, they will start. The others that aren't will get sold. And that's just simply how business works. And I think this is what they want to do, Do you know what I mean? This is what I think they want to do. Guys, keep smashing the like, subscribing as well. We've got 125 people in the building. We have got some breaking news, which we're going to get into in a short second as well. Just going to quickly flick over to this comment from Begdad Egbali as well, who is understood to have reservations about Pochettino from the start, but the emotion was taken out of it and the results post-Arsenal has shifted the dynamic. So we had this discussion a couple shows back where the board was split between the idea of Pochettino staying or staying or leaving. And from what we understand, Egbani was one of the ones that wanted to change, wanted to switch, wasn't happy with the recent performances, wasn't happy with the progression. And, equally, you can't argue that. When you look at where we was in the trenches, in the mud, struggling to get in and out. But the one thing you can say is that he has turned it. And I think he's turned it at the right time. Let's say the right time. It was late, but at least he's turned it in time, meaning at some point of the season. Yes, it's a bit later in the season. Yes, you can question mark his decisions on why it took him so long to do an inverted Kukurea or, etc., or play plays in their current positions or actually play the way we have been playing, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 attacking offensive players throughout games rather than having a 3-man midfield, things like that. Yes, we've been forced into that because of injuries and stuff. But I think, when you're winning games, it doesn't matter how you're kind of winning them, providing that you're winning, it kind of puts you back in the stead of things. And we talk about having like this long-term idea of giving people opportunities or giving them chances. Big up Carlito in the building, Chelsea fan, good to see you. And I kind of and we're going to talk about Pochettino in a bit more in a second, but I kind of feel like I ain't happy on the fact of how he's performed this season. But at the same time, there's a number of things that I feel are going to go his favour. And one of them is that he had to get Europa League football. And that is a massive target that I think has been at the beginning of the season. Been saying it for a long time. And I think that's always been the case. The people that have fired him are no longer speaking, is what Carlito's saying. Okay, interesting. So going on to breaking news, because there is some breaking news that's come out, actually, that we're going to start sharing. And this was come out about 10 minutes ago, guys. The 10 minutes ago is the verbal agreement between Estevao and Chelsea has happened, basically. Very young, would join Chelsea in January 2025. What can we expect from him? Well, What I think they're doing or trying to do is think of the future, not just the now. And yes, he would arrive in at 2025, but even if he did, he's not starting every single game. He probably need to be bedded. He probably need to find his way through the Premier League as well. It's a lot more physical, etc., etc. You know, it's gonna take him a lot of time to maybe find, maybe not take a lot of time. Depends how good he really is. You know, if we've been touted as the Messis, for example, these guys can just go anywhere in the world and played to such a high level, it doesn't matter who they're up against. And if he's in a quality team like Chelsea and is effective as well, then you know, he's going to start. And you know, for us to go and do that and go and sign him, and I know I just see Don put up a comment in the group chat. It's actually from Simon Johnson as well. Has he got an article here? Yes. Let's go into the article. Let's go into the article, guys. Smash the like, subscribe. We've got 150 people in the building. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go into the Estevao signing, which is an agreement in principle from Palmeiras, as per from Simon Johnson and Mario Cortigana. Chelsea have reached a verbal agreement to sign Estevao. The Premier League club will pay 34 million euros up front for the 70-year-old winger, with another 23 million euros tied to his performance-based incentives based on his current club and his new one. He will now move to Stamford Bridge officially in 2025 when he turns 18 and sign what is expected to be at least a seven-year contract, guys. 7-year contract. We got done. I got done. I got done, guys. It doesn't matter. We got the rift of the majority of what we wanted to see. But you know, equally we can go to Cesar, who come out with this comment earlier on, which basically says Estevao Willian reaches an agreement to play for Chelsea. The English club sent its last offer of 65 million euros guaranteed and without objectives, which was accepted by Palmeiras. It will be the most expensive sale in the history of America to Europe. It will be added in mid-2025. Now, it is a lot of money, guys. It is a lot of money. 65 million euros is about what? Just under 60 million sterling. But then again, you got to think to yourself, you know, there's incentives there, which we just read about as well, 23 million of incentives. So he's going to have to play for them. He's going to have to play to the level of the contract and what they require from him. It could be assist levels have to be 10 a season or 15 a season. It could be scoring goals, you know, or whatever it is. It could be Champions League football, winning trophies, whatever the incentives are. He's going to have to comply with them if they are to receive the full package. And listen, if he's worth that money and he comes and he beds in, you know, and in the next 2 to 3 years of actually being at Chelsea, he finds his feet, he gets to 21, 22 from being at Chelsea at 18, 19, you know, and miraculously has a massive improvement on the team effectively, then great. But there's other players in and around that position. You got Kendry Payas, who I actually think looks very good. Very, very, very talented. Is another one, you know, that plays off the right side. You've got Hutchinson, who's on his way up from Ipswich to the Premier League. You know, you've got what's his name? Angelo, who is out on loan at the moment. You know, you know, we've got Madwakey in that position as well. So there's a lot of players in that position, in that role currently at the moment, which is interesting. You know, we can send them to our feeder club for minutes. Now, Estevao is not going to loan at all. It's impossible. 34 million and you send him on loan. No, I don't think so. If he's this good, he comes into the team, he beds, he has a pre-season. He won't have a pre-season because he'll be coming in January, actually. So what they do with him in January is interesting. Do they keep him? They bring him in January halfway through a season and bed him into the team and get him settled till pre-season. And then from pre-season of summer 2025, he then starts playing with the team and then the coach can evaluate him. Is that what we'll probably do? Most probably that will be the case. We nearly got 200 people in the building, guys. Keep smashing the likes, subscribe if you're new here as well. But, you know, I don't know much about him. I've watched cut parts of him. I've watched a statistical breakdown of him and Kendry Payas, their weaknesses, their strengths. And I like what I see. You know, equally, you know, he does move like, and Carlito says there, he dribbles like he's on water. Like he's very, very good. And he's dribbling a bit, he's very good. And I get that. You know, the physicality, can he handle it? That would be a question mark. His speed, He's quick. He's not massively quick. He's quick, but he's technically very good. And even Kendry Páez is. But I just feel one of them two, if you're going to bring them both into the team and at the same time, and they're both going to be given an opportunity, you're going to have to try and mold one of them eventually, maybe into a 10 role, because you can't have two. You could have two off the right competing of this level. Don't get me wrong, but these are two top, supposedly top players that are going to be something in the next 5 to 10 years. So you're going to have to work around trying to find the best out of what you got, you know? We're going to get to that Nyack as well. That is the next one of the next things we're going to get into. So there we go. There's the news into Estevao. There's also something else I want to show you guys. Someone that is doing their job. And when we talk about the board level, is doing their job. And I don't get why he's not even being given sporting director at the moment, because Joe Shields is a big part of why Estevao deal was done and bought over by Ben Jacobs. And John, listen, Joe Shields is the reason Cole Palmer came to Chelsea. Joe Shields is the reason that Lavia came to Chelsea. Now, the list goes on. I think he was also involved in the Jackson deal to a degree as well. There's a number of deals that have been very good this season for us. I'm not too sure about the Gusto deal. I'm not too sure if he was involved in that. But this guy seems to be doing his job well. Unlike Winstanley and Stewart, who have done okay in parts, but majority of their identity has just been a bit poo. You know, but Joe Shields at the moment, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, guys. Pick him up. Let me say this loudly. Poch out. Nyack is still Poch out. That's a good question for the chat. I want everyone in the chat to write either Poch in or Poch out. Poch in or Poch out in the chat, guys. Nearly 200 of you here. Guys over on Twitter as well. If you want to come over to the YouTube, you can come over on Chelsea Fan TV or GNA TV and watch it from there and write in the comments, guys, as well. You have that option as well. You can come and join us on YouTube if you don't want to watch on Twitter as well. He's the head of scouting. Yeah, that's very good. Give him sporting director the way he's moving. Shields signed Palmer, the best player in England. True. That's very true. Don't worry, we still get Madueke, Cole Palmer, and Omari Hutchinson as well. There's another one as well. A lot of these players are going to be sold, by the way, guys. A lot of them are going to be sold. Bobby says Poch him. Bilal says Poch him. Anonymous says Poch in. I don't care, just win. Fair. Poch out. He's going to stay. Out. Nyack stuck on out. Jamie's saying in, out. We're having a lot of difference of opinions in the chat. I don't know Lavia is good or not. We don't know. I don't know Lavia is good deal or not. He will be. He should be. Poch out. Wow. Hussam, big up to you. Hussam in the building says Poch out as well. Poch out. Clowns thinks the manager is the biggest problem. In. Joe Shields in. Big up, Bobby. Good to see you, bro. Poch in. There's a lot of Poch ins at the moment. Listen, we're going to get into Pochettino in a second, actually. It's something that I want to discuss. But before that, we've got some little more breaking news for you guys. Keep smashing the likes. Nearly 200 people in the building, guys. Keep tapping across all social platforms. Bernardo Cueva leaves Brentford to join Chelsea as a new set-piece coach starting from next season. Now, I am actually glad that they have highlighted this area. I am ecstatic that they've highlighted this area. Because the one thing that we have been very bad at this season is from corners and free kicks. The zonal marking makes no sense. We have our smallest players marking the tallest players of the oppositions, which makes no sense. Our free kick, our defending from free kicks is poor. The organisation from set pieces is poor. You know, effectively, we're not really that great at scoring goals from corners. We get a couple here and there, but we're quite crap. So overall, whether it's us in the offensive, in the opposition's box trying to score a corner, or if it's defending him, I don't think we're that great. And I'm glad that they've actually analysed that. I'm glad that they've actually analysed that and said, we need to change that because that ain't good. He wants the furthest manager. Yeah, he does. Poch should have gone to Liverpool. Poch in. You guys would take Jose Fossil football to help the youngsters that were overpriced. Fez, Yeah, everyone has a difference of opinions, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting one for us. We'll see how we get on next season, and it's going to be good to see how we set up from set pieces, from corners, from free kicks, and how we attack corners as well. So, I mean, I'm actually happy we've done this. I hope that the person that we've brought in is one that's going to be successful as well at this club, because we're going to need it. Guys, over 200 people in the building. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new as well. We are now going to go over, before we get to Pochettino, we're going to go over to more transfer news for you guys. More transfer news for you guys coming in from this time from Matt Law. And it's about, when I find it, it's about this guy, Conor Gallagher. Because there's talks about us still selling players, selling to buy, which I think still needs to be done. I do think we need to, not because of PSR rules now, because we've sold assets that have covered that. And I think that makes sense. And we've been told that's been confirmed that Chelsea don't need to sell for the 30th of June. But to buy, and maybe buy to the level that we need to buy, I think we are going to sell specific players that have been in the squad. And Conor Gallagher, who, look, I'll be honest with you, I would like Gallagher to be a part of the team. I'd like him to be off the bench, Joe. I'd like him to be able to come on for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, in games, not starting games, versatility. You know, he's not bad. He's not bad to have. He reminds me of James Milner. I keep saying it. He just reminds me of James Milner, a player that can do a bit of everything. And it's good to have players like that in your team. You need someone that's versatile. You need someone that works hard, gets stuck in. You know, we go 2-0 up and you just want to kill the game off. Just throw Conor Gallagher on. Just run around like a nutter, winning balls and you know, and doing his thing. Like, listen, he's improved a lot of his game. We can't ignore that. From what it was last season to what it was this season, Pochettino has improved Conor Gallagher. He's better on the ball. He's better on the ball than he was last season. He's work rate, I wouldn't say he's much different, but at least he's using his energy properly. His defensive display is better. His offensive display is not as bad. Even though he scored goals, his offensive play isn't still, you know, that great, in my opinion. But I think he would be a great sub for the team, and I think we do need versatility. And we're going to go into the article about Conor Gallagher now in the interest from... Oh, wrong one. Interest from other clubs. And it goes on to say here that Aston Villa are among the clubs who have shown an interest in Conor Gallagher as he prepares for what could be his Chelsea farewell. Another big reason why Conor Gallagher will not be at Chelsea, and we'll probably see this in the article in a second, is the fact that the owners and the board have not even sat down with Conor Gallagher to agree a contract of any kind anyway. That's another thing. That's another big thing. And this is why I feel he is going. He is going, because the fact that we've left it and there's been no progress in it as well tells me that they're waiting to receive some offers from other clubs for him. Gallagher is in line to captain Chelsea for the final game, which could be his final game as well against Bournemouth as well. There has been no progress between Chelsea and Gallagher over a new contract right here, which has left the door open for clubs to make offers for the midfield when the transfer window opens. Tottenham Hotspur have been off the front of the queue of clubs looking at Gallagher and retain a strong interest as well, with Ange Postecoglou understood to be a big admirer of him. But Telegraph Sport understands Aston Villa, who have qualified for next season's Champions League, have expressed an interest of what will be an important summer for them because they are going into the Champions League. They're going to need to strengthen the squad. There is understood to be a good relationship at board level between Chelsea and Villa, whose young striker Duran, whose target of London club in January. It is unclear whether Chelsea retain an interest in Duran, but it's highly unlikely they would consider any sort of swap deal for an academy player like Gallagher, given his sale would count as 100% profit in terms of profitability and sustainability rules. And this is the big thing right now, isn't it? It's all about profitability and sustainability. You know, we've got to keep FFP happy. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. So, unfortunately, a lot of these young homegrown players at this football club may be sold. And it does suck because I would have kept him and played him and just had him on the bench because we don't really have that many in midfield anyway. If Lavia and Caicedo and Enzo's the only three we got, we need another. Which means, does that mean that we're going to buy? Are we going to bring Andre Santos back into the team? Is Leslie going to stay? Are we going to keep these young players and use them as midfield backup? You got Casadei, who doesn't even play midfield for us. He plays off the left or right under Pochettino. What are we doing? Like, what is our idea? Chelsea have previously valued Gallagher at 50 million, and his excellent performance have not diminished his worth. But 1 year remaining on his contract, Chelsea's asking price may have to drop. Gallagher will be part of the England squad as well, apparently. So that again, if Gallagher does get any chance of playing in that team, could help with his market value. While Chelsea will not risk him running down his contract, the 24-year-old has not ruled out staying at the Bridge and is unlikely to be pushed into any move if he's unsure about it. Tottenham going to the final day of the season, only 3 points off Chelsea. Villa and Spurs are not blah, blah, blah. Gallagher has impressed Stamford Bridge Chiefs with his attitude, both on and off the pitch this season. But despite his superb displays, there's an expectation he will face a greater competition for his place next season. Why? Because we're going to have better quality in there. Obviously, he shouldn't be starting games, but just, you know, if you're not going to start him in games, just at least have him on the bench, you know. And Nkunku is expected to start in the new first choice number 10, apparently, while Enzo and Romeo will have both returned to fitness to compete for places next to Moises Caicedo. Sunday's game against Bournemouth will definitely be Thiago Silva's last one, while it will be remaining to be seen if it marks Trevor Chalobah's farewell. Chelsea tried to see Chalobah last summer, were expected to accept bids for him this year, but the defender has performed brilliantly since stepping in. Listen, Trevor Chalobah should not be sold, guys. I'm telling you now, if there's one player I am not willing to sell, is Chalobah. Even more. Because Chalobah's versatile, because Chalobah's performed, because Chalobah's shown experience, unlike some of our defenders. Because Chalobah's actually better than Disasi. And that's just because he's more mature in this league. And we can give Disasi another season or two. Badi Ashil. Fofana's played a quarter of 2 seasons. He's not even on the pitch. Levi Colwell's had a toe injury for it feels like forever, 3 months or so. But, you know, when he's back, he should be in and around the team. So why would we be getting rid of Chalobah again if we're going to, you know, unless we're going to buy in that area. But if you go out and buy in the market a £60 million young player from France in defence or Portugal who hasn't got much experience and you bring him in again, we're just back to square one, really. So why are we getting rid of all of the little experience that we have? And Thiago Silva's going next season, which I still don't get. His kids are still playing football for Chelsea. They're contracted. Why didn't they just give him another year contract? Why? Why not? Like, it's not like he's performing bad. He's still playing games and still performing to a standard. Like, why did we do that? Unless you're gonna like I'm saying, they're planning to bring someone in defence with experience, but then who? Who are they bringing in defence with experience? These are things that don't make sense to me, you know? Chalobah's going to be sold, and that's the one I'd be pissed off with. It's the same, Nyack. We're on the same boat. I am. If I have to come on here and do a Chalobah has left Chelsea, I'm not going to be happy. I promise you now. It's not going to be a happy gem. That's for sure. It's not going to be a happy gem. Last summer, expected head coach Pochettino stated on Friday he will not make an end-of-season speech to supporters after Bournemouth game ahead of Chelsea's end-of-season review. Pochettino once again non-committal on his future ahead of the Sunday match, and along with Gallagher, was not name-checked in column written by Danny Finkelstein in Chelsea's matchday programme. Interesting. Finkelstein set out why he was confident Chelsea are headed in the right direction, highlighting Nkunku, Caicedo, Palmer, Cucurella, Jackson, Madueke, Mudryk. There was no mention of Pochettino, who has moulded them into the team, or Gallagher, who has captained the side for most of the season. And I've been one of the top performers, but Chelsea insiders insist the omissions of the pair were not intentional or in any way reflective of their futures. And then Finkelstein, as he said, went on to say what he said, which is what I told you guys earlier on. So, guys, there's still over 200 people in the building. Make sure you're smashing the likes, guys. Smash the likes, share it out. Come and say hello in the chat, guys. Good to see you all here as well. We're going to go into a bit of Pochettino. Then we've got the game, guys. We are going to get into the game. We've been on for half hour now, but we're going to start talking about the game. We've got the panel to come in as well, who will be joining us very soon. Pochettino came out with these comments. We're not going to celebrate take a picture finishing in 5th or 6th in Europe. It's not enough for the club. The owners, the sporting directors, or the players. It's not enough for us. He knows it's not enough for them. So what was your actual targets, Pochettino? The fact that you've mentioned sporting directors, owners, the fact that you've had to highlight that. Apparently, there's no celebration for finishing 56. Was the target to get Champions League, but they've given him the exception of Europa, and that's why they're not celebrating it, which I think could be the case. And he has to get Europa League, by the way. If he doesn't get Europa League tomorrow and we lose to Bournemouth and Newcastle win, he's gone. He's gone. I'm telling you, he's gone. If he wins tomorrow, he buys himself another season. And then he's got to continue with what he's done at the end of this season, going into next. And why I don't mind it to a degree is not only because I feel the manager availability is not great. It's not great. Name me some managers that you would like to take over Pochettino in the current market available now. And let's discuss that. I want to know. I want to know what people's thoughts and opinions are. Another second big reason why, even though I don't back this guy, I didn't want this guy at the beginning. I didn't even want him. I was one of the only guys that said that I don't want him for these reasons. Yeah. But one of the only other reasons why I feel he will stay again is that there was comments coming out saying that the players are happy with the system, they're happy with the manager, they're happy with this. And as Chelsea fans, one of the biggest things that we always used to bang on about in the past is when the players are not happy and they're not playing for him, get rid of him. Not only are not the fans, but once you get that message that the players aren't and they're not enjoying it, then it's all get rid of him. The players ain't happy. Why are we keeping him? Well, now the players are happy, supposedly. The players are happy in playing in the systems that he's done for the last couple of games. And they want to see how it goes. So effectively, going against the players and where we are at the moment is another reason why I think he probably won't go and why we shouldn't get rid of him. But it doesn't mean he can start the way he has started, like he did this season in the first 10 games. And I don't care if Nkunku's out or Lavia or James. We know James is not going to be around. I don't care. You can't have these excuses anymore. We're going to go into the summer window. We'll see what new players we've brought in. We'll see who we've let go and things like that, etc. He needs to continue what he's done. He has to. Yeah, and we're going to do a big breakdown, guys. Next week, just to let you all know here now, so you know, next week, we've got 5 shows back to back to back. Monday, we've got the match reaction to the Bournemouth game. Tuesday, we are doing a breakdown of the season review. Starting Tuesday, we're going to do goalie and defenders. Complete discussion around that area and what we feel. Tier maker, keep them, awful, good, get rid of them, what we're going to do. That. Then we're going to go to the midfield on Wednesday, do the same thing. Talk about the whole midfield, who should stay, who should go, what we should do. Panel in here, constructive. Hassan, welcome. Thursday, we're going to do the forward discussion. All of the forward players. We're going to talk about it. Should we keep him, should we not, etc., etc., etc. And then Friday, the manager. Does he stay? Does he go? How do we feel he's performed overall? What do we expect? So all next week, you're going to have 5 shows, guys. 5 shows back to back to watch as well. Daniel, how are you, bro? Good to see you. Nice to see you. Hassan, big up to you as well. Guys, smash a like. There's over 200 people currently in the building right now as well. Good to see every single one of you in here. I hope you are all well. All the best managers in the world are solid defensively. Correct. But also, are the players that we currently have board level, Disassi, Badiashile, good enough? This is the other question mark we still have. Yes, the ladies today as well. Big up to them. Hopefully they get it done. But we're going to talk more about that, obviously, at a later stage. One of the things I want to quickly jump onto, which we're going to go into the game now, guys, is Thiago Silva. It is his last game. El Monstro is leaving to say goodbye this weekend before he joins Fluminense in June. But he's really planning to return to Chelsea one day in a different role. He loves the club, the city, and his plan. It's already something concrete in his mind. And people were like, well, what's he doing? Like, what's the situation? What's going on with Thiago Silva? But this is what Thiago Silva's been doing in his spare time, guys. This is what he's been doing.
Ele fica vendo o jogo das crianças. Das crianças não, né? 12 meninas, não tem as crianças. E fica ali. Tem aqui. Aí depois vai falar com as crianças.
You got it right. He is, by the looks of it, training to become a coach. He's watching Chelsea games. He's watching formations. He's watching style. He's learning from supposedly De Zerbi. He's learning from so many managers, trying to work out how to set up, how to work it out. Look at him. Look at him. Look. He's distancing. He's doing it all. Look, go on, Thiago Silva. So yeah, he's going over there to play. Yeah, he's going over there to play for a season, but he's already thinking about his return to Chelsea because once he's done 1 year there, I think he's going to retire. Then he's going to come back to this football club. He's two young kids are contracted to Chelsea, so he's going to be here automatically. Whether or not he get a coaching role is going to be well too early to say. I don't think it will start. Maybe he will have some sort of role in the club. Maybe they'll find maybe with the reserves or something. That could happen. Could he be a coach for the future? Maybe. A couple of years' time. Maybe Chelsea look to take him on when we have Estevao and Payas, all these Brazilian players that we're signing. And then we have this Brazilian manager who can then portray a formation and system and get the best out of them and has that communication and passion. Because the one thing he would have if he was a coach is the passion, the love for the club, the passion, the determination. And we've done the same thing with Lampard. You have to take the player away from the manager. The same thing. Lampard wasn't a good coach. He just isn't a good coach. Thiago Silva is going to be given an opportunity. You know? America to Europe at Thai Sports. Big up to you, man. Yeah, we've seen that. So, yeah, Thiago Silva potentially becoming a Chelsea. Let me quickly ping this to the boys as well. Forgot to do that. Let me just do that to the boys now. Let's get there, man. Let me just quickly do this. I've got to do this. Let me just ping a link in there for them as well, guys. Over 200 people. Still over 200 people in the building right now, guys. Good to see every single one of you here across all platforms. Say hello to us on Twitter, guys. Say hello to us on Chelsea Fan TV and GNA TV as well. 200 people in the building. Now we're going to go into the game. And we're going to talk about Nkunku quickly as well because I feel like we've got to have this quick discussion in and around the potentials of him starting as a 10 next season. Christian Nkunku is expected to start as next season as Chelsea's first choice 10. What does that mean for Cole Palmer? That means he goes out to the right or the left? Because I don't know if I believe this fully still, because I feel like there's a versatility option here. And I think in game it changes anyway. But what I think we have to do is work on maybe getting Nkunku and Palmer to play both in that role, where you have like 2 10s, but they're versatile and they switch. And I think we're kind of doing it at the moment now. So if you see Nkunku starting off in the left side, playing inverted, which he will play out there, but he always finds, you also notice that he always finds himself in the 10 role, which means Palmer pulls to the right, he goes into the 10, or Palmer occupies space. And this is the quality of the two individuals that we possess. They both play the game at their own speed. They both have the idea to, the image to know where to find space on the pitch. They both do. They're just technically very gifted, good players. Very gifted, good players. You know, and I think next season what Poch needs to do is he needs to work out how to get them to play in this way of, all right, that's your formation, but rotate in between game, understand each other's position. So if Palmer's over there, Nkunku goes into the middle and occupies the Palmer space. Or if Nkunku's all the way over at the left, Palmer's in the 10 role, he occupies the 10 role. I think there's got to be that chemistry and understanding between these players. It has to be that chemistry and understanding. I don't mind Nkunku. Guys, nearly 250 people in the building right now. Big up to every single one of you's in it. You know, I don't mind the whole of them, you know, them playing. I think the way we are playing now maybe eliminates the idea of having one more midfielder. However, I feel in certain games next season, with everyone fit providing, we will see 3 midfields with 3 attackers. And if Nkunku and Palmer are fit, it would be Palmer on the right and Nkunku on the left, inverting in and then a striker. And then I'd have Lavia, Caicedo as an 8, Enzo as an 8. We have to see that. I need to see that structure. I need to see how that plays out because that's going to have to be one option. The second option is you lose a midfielder, whether it's Enzo, whether it's Lavia, whoever it is, Caicedo, someone might be injured, whatever. You play 2 as a pivot, and then you have the 3 in front, and you play Palmer, Nkunku, Madueke, striker. Or, and this is where the big if comes, if we sign a striker, and we're going to do it now in a second. I'm going to show you some ways actually because it alleviates. Let's go to this quickly because we're going to do a rate. We're going to do a prediction for the game in a second. But I want to just quickly share this with you guys as well. There's options in and around the team that we could play going into next season. This is just next season, guys. It's nothing to do with the game on the weekend. I'm just giving you an idea of things we can do. So say Caicedo's fit and then we're at home at the Bridge. Enzo's fit. Caicedo and Enzo back in the middle together in the pivot. You got Cucurella playing in the inverted role this time, so we get to see Enzo in this inverted Cucurella role, which means Enzo will be further up the pitch next to Palmer, along with Nkunku and Palmer as well. I think I'd love Chalobah to stay, so I'm going to put Chalobah in there because he's my boy. And then you have, I'm going to say Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill back in there. And then right back, you have Reece James. Let's just say Augusto. Don't really matter, but Reece James is available. What I would then do, and this could happen, there's options. Because what Nkunku does is when Nkunku's here, it gives you options. It gives you options. So you look to see something like this. Let's zoom in a bit. You look to see something like this where come on, Madueke. Where we play like this next season's team, and you have, let's just say Jackson for now, okay? So what you have is the ability to be able to do that, for him to go there. I don't think Madueke can go in the 10 here, but there's going to be a rotation, right? But then going into next season, if we buy a striker, this happens. And I think you then have Jackson on the left as an inverted playing, Nkunku, Palmer, and then a striker. Let's just say, I don't know, let's go with Gakaires, for example. Now, that to me, because of it, gives you versatility, it gives you adaptation. This could happen. All right, some people want Osimhen. Let's put Osimhen in. I know people go, why have we got Osimhen there? All right, let's put Osimhen up there. That keeps everyone happy. That right there, at home against a mid-block team, someone that's not really going to affect us too much at the other end, because I think defensively that works. Cucurella goes in here. Enzo presses more up here. Jackson's inverted next to here. And Nkunku arriving in the box. Palmer inverted, creating for them. Enzo and Palmer creating for them as well. That's scary. That's scary. But then if we play games where, and this is why Nkunku is important for me, where we have to go to a 4-3-3 because we're playing Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, then you just do this. I think Jackson goes out. Yeah, and this is if Lavia is fit, by the way. And you do that. And you have 2 8s. Does that work? Yeah. You have 2 8s who are both creative off the ball, able to attack these areas and link play and create. You have 2 wingers that are able to fill in 10 roles and help, build up play. And you got fullbacks in Reece James who can get up and down the pitch. Cucurella will, but I just feel like he will play more of an inverted. Again, you could still play an inverted next to Lavia, which means Enzo can go further forward again, and he can join in the 4. So he would go a bit like that. or Caicedo will, and he will, they can both go together, There's so much options in the team. It's ridiculous. There's so much options in that team. I wouldn't worry about that midfield. Why are we worried about that midfield? That midfield is solid. And if we didn't have Lavia, let's just say Lavia was injured, again, it could revert to this. You could just play. You see, you can't play him out there. Let's say you could have put Jackson in the team, but Jackson won't. I mean, Jackson off the right, probably not. Off the left, I don't know, maybe Nkunku would switch. I don't know, but you could play Caicedo, Enzo, and that would be a bit more. That's another option for us as well. But effectively, that can happen. That can happen. That looks awful. so you get what I mean? And Nkunku just gives you this versatility. He just gives you this versatility. And that's the option that we have options once players are fit and quality options in that, So, we might not even sign a striker. There's a good chance, right, that we don't get Osimhen, we don't get Kakaris, but we get a striker because we need striker. Don't get wrong, we need a striker, but we might not get a striker that's coming in to start. But he might be a striker that's good enough to play games, which means Jackson can play off the left and you can play with I don't know. Let me give you an example. I don't know. What strikers are there? I don't think Watkins is coming Chelsea, by the way. But I don't know. Let's go with Tony, for example. You have that option. Someone that can hold the ball up. Someone that can play well off deep, hold the ball and drive. Someone that's technically good at getting around the box here. And the same here. Versatility. They will switch. Create space for each other. It's dangerous. We need a striker, but it's not about for me, it's not about signing the most expensive striker. And we're going to go to the Bournemouth game anyway, because that's where we're going next. And I want to talk about the injuries, guys, and we'll come to the Bournemouth starting 11, which is what we're going to do next. In injury news, we have Carney Chukwuemeka in team training again. Sanchez is still on a reconditioning program. Mudryk with the bang in his face is still in concussion protocols, which means they're finished. They're not going to be around until next season. Enzo still continuing his rehabilitation. Fofana the same, and Lavia the same. So it's smaller. It's a smaller list, that's for sure. It's definitely a smaller list. How Chelsea going to perform against Bournemouth tomorrow? I think they just need to play. I think they just need to play exactly how they have played or have been playing up to this point. And I think we're going to go through that team now in a second. But Bournemouth, when you look at the Premier League table, guys, and we're going to go to the Premier League table. Let's have a look at it. Oh, wrong one. Someone at my door, whoever that is. What are you doing, mate? Get out. Get out. So there's your injuries. We're going to go quickly to the table. So this is the table. Let's do that as well, because I need to do this. I keep forgetting to do this. No, this is not what I need. I need this. That's next. That's next. I'm just organising myself. So, as you can see right here, Chelsea currently find themselves in a position of 6th, where we are at the moment, guys. Bournemouth are sitting in 11th. Their last 5 games, 3 losses, 2 draws. Up and down, but have improved. Attacking team. I think they will press. I think they won't give us space. Equally, that could play in our favour if we play how we have been playing recently. No bozo moments, no stupid passing. Just play calm and find the pockets in between to Nkunku, who will find it. Palmer, these guys who will find you space. Get the ball, get up the other end of the pitch and just create and finish. And I think we should beat them on the day. I do. But I think they will score. I've got a feeling Bournemouth are going to bang one. And I've just got a feeling Solanke, who's in very good form at the moment, might find a goal. But we're going to need to turn up and we're going to need to win, because on 60 points in 6th, we win, we go straight up. Even if we draw, we stay 6th. Then it's just waiting for the Man City Man United game. Man United win the FA Cup. If Man United win the FA Cup, that means if Man United win the FA Cup, that means we lose the Europa League position and go into Europa Conference. But if Pochettino manages to do that and then can't do anything about that, then I don't think they're going to sack him because it's not in his control that's happened. It is a bit because we shouldn't have drawn against Burnley. We shouldn't have drawn against Sheffield United. We shouldn't have fucking lost the games we'd lost because we wouldn't even be in this position. The fact that we find ourselves in very good form, 4 wins out of 5, only 1 draw as well, is pretty impressive, not going to lie. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see where we find ourselves with that. Bournemouth is a dangerous team. Of course they are. They're going to give us problems. Everyone involved in the Premier League said Brighton were the best ranked club. What did we do? Take their whole board. CAA's going in on one. So that's that. And then we're going to look at the head-to-heads. Then we're going to look at the head-to-heads, which is here. And the head-to-head at the moment between Chelsea and Bournemouth, it looks like this, guys. Ignoring the... Oh, let's go to the bottom. Ignoring the away games, because we're not doing that. We're looking at the home games. The last time we played Bournemouth at home, we won 2-0 in December 2022. That is when we had Koulibaly, Kai Havertz and Mason Mount found the goal at home. And then if we go down again. So, yeah, Bournemouth, Chelsea. So that we won there. Back in 2019, we won at home. Sorry, we drew at home there. No, that's away. Sorry, we won at home, but then we lost to them. We lost to them. The last time we lost to Bournemouth was the 14th of December 2019. And then we've since that won. So our overall rate against them, played 13, won 5, drawn 2. That's Bournemouth's rate. I don't know why they're doing it that way. It's the other way around. Why did they show me Bournemouth, bruv? Well, that didn't work. But anyway, you can see what I mean. You can see what I mean, guys. Now, we're going to go into... Interesting. Who put that up? Who put that up just now? Before we go into it, there's some news on Estevao. Nizar Kinsella. Let's go Nizar Kinsella for a second. 2 seconds. Something's just come up that I wanted to just check. Hey, they put in... Hey, this is lovely, by the way, guys. Look at this. Look at this. This is a touch. Thiago Silva send-off preparations. We are the shed. They're putting a big Brazilian flag up for the guy. It's going to be emotional, man. It's going to be an emotional game tomorrow for Thiago Silva. It's going to be horrible, man. I am dreading it. This is hurting me as much as when we lost Eden Hazard as well. They're getting the flag ready for Thiago Silva. It's sad, man. It's sad. Going back to what I was about to do, which was find Nizar Kinsella's comments. There's a actual, if you want to look at an article of Atletico on Estevao, it's there, 44 million up front, 23 million tied in incentives, expected to at least have a 7-year contract, which will move in 2025. Chelsea have reached a verbal agreement. We know about that. But there was a comment from Nizar Kinsella. Lawrence Stewart oversaw the Estevao negotiation deal. What does oversaw mean? It doesn't mean anything. There's a lot coming out now. Chelsea have reached a verbal agreement. 34 million euros paid up front with 23 million bonuses. He will sign a 7-year contract. Estevao and Pius, what are Chelsea cooking? Here they are together. 2 young boys coming to Chelsea Football Club as well. That's interesting. Chelsea have agreed to sign. Where's Nizar Kinsella's comments? That's what we want to find. Nizar Kinsella. There he is. Okay. Chelsea are closing in on Estevao, but that includes add-ons. So Chelsea are closing on Estevao Willian for 65 million euros, but that includes add-ons and taxes. The initial fee will be significantly less and may not be on the accounts until 25-26 calendar season. A big move for the future. So we're making moves. Oh my God. We're making moves. We're making moves on players where on the accounts, this sale won't show until 25-26. So forget him signing now because he ain't coming till 25. It's not going to show on the books until 25-26. So even though we've bought a player now, or have agreed to buy a player now, the contract stipulates probably that, you know, nothing kicks in terms of ties of taxes and add-ons or anything like that we need to pay until that period, which means we've just tied it up sooner rather than later, which is pretty clever. It's a big move. You know, that's a big move, and that's a clever move from Chelsea. A very, very clever move. Very, very, very clever move. We'll see if there's any more news just while we're in here as well. Yeah, Ben Jacobs is sharing it. Verts, Kakaris, De Jong, Bastoni are saying else. Hudson would like to extend his stay with Ipswich Town. He's also attracted interest as well. Interesting. All right, going back to the game. I want to do a match. Preview of the team lineup. Now, we'll go through this together. Let's go through it. Let us know in the chat as well, guys, what your thoughts and feelings are as well. Obviously, Petrovic, who's had a very good season, is going to start at the back. We're going to go over back four for me of Cucurella. I think we're also going to see Silva as it's his last game. Why ain't Thiago Silva? Like, this is just down. Why is Neymar coming up? Thiago Silva, Chalobah, and Gusto, who is fit and available. There he is. There's my back four for tomorrow's game. A very strong back four, inverted. I think Cucurella will play in that inverted back four role again as well. And then the two in the middle is obvious. I don't think we're going to change it. I think Gallagher might be playing his last game of the season. Caicedo will be playing, as we know, and has been playing well, very, very well most of the season as well. Someone that's been put under the cards, in my opinion, for his performances. And then we're going to go Palmer and Kunku. I think will start. He won't play the full game, but I think he will start tomorrow. Madueke, I don't think he'll be dropped. I think Sterling will be on the bench. And Jackson leading the line. That is my predicted 11 for the game. That's my predicted 11 for the game tomorrow. I want to know if you guys in the chat agree or disagree with that lineup. Don't underestimate our Paul. We've always had Paul. We've always had Paul. They're playing chess and making moves your little brain can't comprehend because you listen to Talk Sport all day. Who's talking to? Who you talking to, Sierra? What's up with you? You don't have Real Madrid, Paul, so you have to sign these young kids before they go. Which is just clever business. It's just clever business, right? Like, that's it. Is there an argument in the chat here? Am I missing something? Is there an argument in the chat here, guys? What's going on? Tap the screens, guys. Share it out. We are waiting on the panel. I'm assuming the panel's coming. Couch is going to join us in 10 minutes, he said. Don's on his way as well. So we have Don and Couch coming in at some point very soon. Get it in the chat. Who are you worried about tomorrow, guys? Is anyone in the team of Bournemouth that you worry about? Are we worried about, I don't know, are you worried about Solanke? Are you worried about Kirkes? Who worries you? Please let me know in the chat. I'd be interested to know. I'd be interested to know your thoughts and feelings, guys. Let us know. Let us know in the chat. Let's read some of the chat as well. What whole discussions going? There's a whole discussion going on, Jem. What's going on? Like that team still don't like Cuckoo though. Their right winger forgot this. Kirkes, yeah. Solanke's what Daniel says. Solanke, I think, is going to be a problem tomorrow. But the way you stop that is just stop them creating and building up from the back. If they start building up from the back and they start pressing and start giving us problems, yeah, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Of course it is. Some reason we might have been, might even win, but a single win in 10 years can't be called a genius move, man. That's not. Are you guys arguing in the chat? We got a bit of beef in the chat, guys. Let's go through some more comments. Let's scroll up and see what people are saying. Big up Nav as well. I love Nkunku, Carlito. One thing I love is Nkunku. I feel if Nkunku was around as long as Palmer has this season, I think Palmer would have more assists. I think Nkunku would score the goals and chances that Palmer's created. I think we would have more points as well. I think we'd have more points on the team as well. There's a lot of things, really, a lot of things. Couch Critic is in the building.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Shatters, Jemmy. What do you guys say, man? Everything good? I love seeing a smile on your face, Jem. There's nothing that brings me more joy than seeing a smile on your face, bro.
Why, though? Why do you like seeing me smile?
Oh, man, it means that we're doing well as a club. You're seeing things that you like. We're in a good position. Look at this. All the doom and gloom from the beginning of the year that I was like, oh, my goodness, we're 12th, we're 10th. What the hell are we doing? Sack the board. Sack Pochettino. All these things have just been, put aside right now. And I feel like we've finally gotten to a point where we are unified once again. Supporters, terraces, club. Everyone.
I say unified because we should always be unified anyway as Chelsea fans. I think there's always going to be difference of opinions on the way we do things. I think that's just fans. I think that's fans again. I think everyone can have their feelings about how they felt earlier in the season, which we know we've had these discussions in the last show about, Poch and his setups or maybe not having the players that he needs to execute what he's doing now, which okay, is fine. And at the same time, I think right now he just needs to continue it, man. And that's the next question, isn't it? Can he continue it and sustain it going into next season? Tomorrow's a big game, Couch, isn't it? Because they're not a push around, are they? They're playing well under this new manager. All right, they've lost the last 2 games, but the one thing I've noticed with them is they press high. They got players that want to win the ball effectively which could work in our favour if we're not having bozo moments on the ball. But what's your thoughts on the game tomorrow? For setup and Bournemouth as well.
You went deep already. You already got your lineup set up and everything. Wow. Okay. Sorry. No. It's basically you basically set up what I think is going to happen anyway. So
yeah.
With the exception of maybe Nkunku not being able to go 60, 70 minutes, he might have to. Might have to be like Sterling there, but we'll see. I would rather see him start, but we'll see. It's going to be a difficult match. I don't deny it, unless of course Bournemouth is on the beach right now, which I'm not sure is the case. It's going to be a difficult match. We don't have our favorite referee either, so you got other things to consider as well.
Yeah, fraud tomorrow.
Yeah,
we just got to make sure we limit him from getting involved in the match if somehow. Do you know what I mean? Just do our job. You know what I mean? Don't do stupid things and silly tackles in the boxes or, Reece James moments or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So,
it's important. It's important to keep your heads on, keep your heads cool, and to just play the match. Beat them clean. Big up, Bobby, man. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, just beat them clean and just make sure that we can't leave any doubt. If we leave doubt, I feel like it's going to leave the door open for somebody like Anthony Taylor to, put us in a position where we won't get the result that we need. So, let's just hope that we can do that and, continue on the good run of form that we are in. Even with that said, I don't know if the result, if we win tomorrow, win out, it doesn't necessarily put us in a Europa League position because we still have to worry about whether or not. Yeah. And the fact that they've missed out is going to have them turned up for that game against Man City. Yeah. And Man City, if they win the league, will probably just be on the beach, be like, whatever, we can smack these guys around. I don't anticipate Pep being that sort of a manager where where he won't have this team up to for a fight to win another trophy, especially keep their rivals, away from a position where it's pretty much desired right now, where they can be in Europa League. But at the same time, we just never know what team's going to turn up. United, in a lot of ways, are similar to us in that from week to week, you just don't know who's going to show up, and they got like some crazy luck, like in situations where you feel like they should be losing handily, they find a way to find like a late result here and whatnot. So that will be a tricky match, and doesn't really guarantee that even if we win tomorrow, that we get Europa League. But we are in a position where we can at least, be in the conversation for it, which is, I don't know if that's enough to keep Poch in his job, to be honest, but it is, I don't know, it's kind of where I thought that we would be anyways.
I hear you. What are your thoughts on, obviously, the game, the setup? We kind of expecting all this as well. Obviously, we expected to still win the game and stuff, but I don't know if you was listening to the show earlier. Don's coming on in a second as well. We were talking about, I want to get your thoughts on the Gallagher news more than anything, actually. It seems like Aston Villa are interested. Obviously, they've got Champions League next season as well. Tottenham are still very interested in him, and it seems like, obviously, we've not even spoke to him about contracts. We've not even spoke to him about even offering him anything, which gives me an indication that maybe we're just looking and waiting for clubs to come in and put offers in for him, for the fact that we've not offered him anything. What's your thoughts on the facts of Gallagher maybe playing his last game tomorrow for Chelsea?
First of all, where was that? I didn't see that. So who reported that? Because I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like Gallagher is an evergreen, man. Like, he's a guy that's always ready to play. Like, he's not the most technically sound. He's not the most, he's not the guy that I want in the number 10 position. That's for sure. But to be honest with you, like, he's consistently healthy. So it's a Matt Law thing, yeah?
Well, yeah, there's no progress between. Well, this is obvious because from what we understand, there's just been nothing in terms of contract. Because even Fabrizio Romano or Ornstein's not even said anything about it. So, over the new contract, and which has left the door open for clubs that are interested. Aston Villa and Tottenham are one of them. But the big thing here in all of this is that he's not been offered. They've not even discussed the new contract. That could be just because they're also waiting to see where we are, how he's performed as well before they think about it. They might even sort it out after the season. It could be the case. I don't know, but it seems like, for what Matt Law was saying was to do with profitability and sustaining it and all that stuff, that he's going to be one of the guys on the chopping board to go.
I wouldn't. I'm not in a position where I want to lose sleep over losing Gallagher, but I think he's been an evergreen for us. He's been a guy that has been consistently played because he's healthy and he works hard. He's a reference point for effort on the pitch. So you lose something like this, I think you lose a bit of balance, right? Like, in terms of the types of players that we have on the pitch that are a little bit more offensively gifted and technically sound, but don't have the ability to graft, get after the ball, and make up a solid midfield. So it's a bit of a weird one for me. I'm kind of like, what's you texted on the screen here.
Oh shit! Sorry, guys.
What's going on, man? You listen to what I'm saying, or you just want me talking here? What's going on here, bro?
No. I just had to. Someone asked me for the link, so I just pinged it to him. The Blue Project. He wants to come in. He's been asking me for a while, so I just saw.
Oh, is that Carlito guy? Yeah, he's been sweating me to get on this show, man. The guy uses, like, what's it called? Skype, and I'm like, I'm not downloading that any more new software to talk.
No, I don't think it's Carlito. I don't know who it is actually. The Blue Code Project. We'll find out.
I think it's Carlito. Anyway. The whole Gallagher thing, it's if it means that we could we can go ahead and buy again in the window and address some of the other concerns that we have in the squad right now, striker, center back, potentially somebody like Olise, then I'm not really that concerned. I'm sure we can find people who can do like the leg work and the dog work that would be conducive to us being still a solid team. But oh, here we go. Here comes one of Gallagher's biggest fans right here, my boy Xavi. Yes, man. Xavi's
with a
ready.
camera on as
Look
well.
at the smile on his face too. I haven't seen that in a long time, man. Look at
Wow.
Xavi's smile, man. Heard something about Gallagher going, and he just pops on with a big smile on his face. What's up, Brenda?
What
What's
we
up,
saying? How are we? I mean, Javi, we're just going over the whole talks around from Matt Law in regards to Gallagher potentially leaving because there's been no contract offers from the club as of yet, as it stands. And Aston Villa have come in today and apparently very interested. Tottenham are still very interested. I mean, how do you feel about the potentials of Gallagher leaving the club?
I'm devastated, bro. Fucking devastated. He just gets what it means to be Chelsea, and we don't have a lot of players like that. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm joking.
That is a good point. That is a good point, though. That you did say something there.
To be honest, like he's not. I know I don't personally like that type of player. I'm gonna be like totally honest, but I get why people want him. But I just feel like we can do better. You know what I mean? We can. He's not like irreplaceable in terms of like the football sense, but it's like the Chelsea, like getting what it means to be Chelsea, going up in an academy and all that. But
yeah,
I just feel, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care for it as long as we get a better replacement. That's my problem. So it's like, are we upgrading on that position? You know what I mean?
I've heard today from Nyack. Everyone's like, listen, my views are this on him. I think we should keep him. I think he should be a bench player. I think he'd be. I keep saying he reminds me of like the James Milner option. Like someone that can just come on and do 30 minutes running around. You don't want to have Enzo Caicedo or even Lavia playing every game as the free. You're going to need people with legs in certain games, and I think him coming in. And when we're maybe 1 or 2-0 up and just killing games off and helping us get across the line, I don't mind that because that's what he does, And I think you need that still. And I do agree, he does have that passion for Chelsea, and he you can see it. He wants to be here and stuff. And it's just not he's just not as talented as the others that are around him. But what he does have is something that I think a lot of like when you're going to challenge and you're going on to push and you want to have depth in the team, he's one of them players that is so versatile. Like you should just have, because they will help in periods of seasons when we're maybe fatiguing in areas of midfield and things like that. So I'm not a big fan of Gallagher. He shouldn't be playing every game. No way. He shouldn't even be our captain, in my opinion. King of Chelsea. But at the end of the day, I would prefer to have him as a sub and in the team than selling him on to Aston Villa, where he will probably start, I think, and they'll be playing Champions League football next season.
Hey, Jim, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you? Who is that?
Oh, it's Carlito.
I
knew it was Carlito.
By the way, Couch Critic. So before I even continue, Couch Critic, you have to come on my podcast. You are one of the best voices Chelsea has, Couch Critic. I'm telling you, man, you are brilliant with your YouTube stuff. I love your stuff.
Respect.
He's good. He's good.
If you did anything but Skype, I would have been on ages ago.
Dude, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Because you are so good. No, Jim, I got to be real, man. Couch Critic, if you watch him, he is so articulate. He's brilliant, man.
He is. He's good. This is why he's on here.
Oh, I hear you, brother. And thank you for allowing me on, man. I watch your stuff all the time. I'm hip to some of your friends, Chelsea Fan TV, Alex and Charlie and all those guys. So what's the topic for discussion? What we're doing, baby?
We're talking about Gallagher at the moment. What's your thoughts on him potentially leaving the club and going to maybe Aston Villa or Spurs and that? Like, how do you feel about the potentials of that?
Well, I don't know if you watched my Twitter feed for a while. I'm sure you haven't. That's okay. I don't think Conor Gallagher is the player for the future at Chelsea. I think that he is technically deficient. And although he works hard, that doesn't mean that he works smart, because there's a profound disparity between the two. working hard and working smart. It doesn't paper over the fact that I don't think his touch is very good. And if you really want to have a midfielder that defines the next era that we're about to go into, I don't think it's Conor.
Yeah,
I think that he tries hard. And you know what, man? I'm never gonna slate a guy that gives a shit, that fucking cares. But Jim, I gotta be real, bro. He's no Rodri, he's no Bernardo Silva. Like the guy, he's
a
okay.
James Milner. That's what I call him, James Milner.
Yeah, but is that what you want when what our ethos has been over the last 2 years is that we are going to build a talent juggernaut. That type of talent does not include Conor.
I agree that, but I also don't think it's bad to have on the bench and have the legs in games where
yeah, but you're asking him to accept that, Jim, and I don't think he'll accept that.
I don't think he has a problem with accepting it. I think that if Poch is here next season, he's gonna play. That's his guy.
Are you sure?
That's his guy. Yes, that's his guy.
No,
I
don't necessarily know.
Loves
that
players like that.
Like if you have a midfield three, and it's or even a midfield two, where does he fit? He
doesn't. He doesn't couch. He doesn't.
Where I have a problem with Pochettino is if everyone's fit and he's still starting in the midfield, and then you got Nkunku or someone that could be in that offensive,
Lavia.
Yeah, like whoever. But like even if Lavia's on the bench and Gallagher's on, it might just be because he hasn't played many minutes, whatever. But what I'm saying is, if I see Gallagher further up the pitch and we've got Nkunku and this one on the bench and that one on the bench and that, I'm going to have problems with him because I can't imagine
Gallagher up the pitch now with what we have seen from Nkunku, Palmer, and the likes of perhaps Carney Chukwuemeka in the future. No way, man. No way.
Like it's all nice that we say this, but to me, when I've listened to managers' interviews, especially like the top managers, especially what they see in training, guys like the managers like the 6, 7 out of 10, you know what you're gonna get for Gallagher. A lot of players are like unknown. Sometimes they show up there, especially with our team. But with Poch and Gallagher, he's been reliable. You think like this year he's been captain. He's been our most ready player, always fit. I think he's gonna be starting next season if under Poch.
Wow.
I don't necessarily know that to be true. I would say that like the reason why he plays a lot and has been used a lot is because he's reliable just due to health. He's always available. You already said he's an ever ready. He's an evergreen, man. Like the guy just does not get injured. So in situations where you think that you want somebody else in that position, we just haven't had the bodies for it, But
even when games didn't require Gallagher, like where we're on the front foot, we don't really need that presence of Gallagher. He still plays him. Like, you know what I mean?
I have to ask you this question because you've got that nice fit. You're a handsome man. Let me ask you this question. You have this opportunity to date an 8.5/9, but you're dating a 6, and you're not happy with her, but you will settle for her. Are you really going to settle for her, or will you go for that 8.5/9? Honestly, as a man,
this is stuff that I would do. Like I would go. It depends, bro. That's like a wide question.
It really does.
Listen, that 9.5. There's a lot of pretty girls, especially when you get girls.
Oh no, I understand that there are a lot of pretty girls.
That's not really.
Hold on.
Yeah, but you could have your shallow glasses on. That film, then you don't see.
Like that 6 out of that 9.5 can cook one day and not cook for like 4 weeks.
By the way, there are a ton of pretty girls.
That 6, 7, she's gonna stay like that pretty, like she's average, but she's gonna cook, clean, press my clothes. You feel me like that?
No, but look. There are a lot of 9s out there with guys that are sick of sleeping with them. I get you, but here's the deal: when it comes to football, I know what you're gonna get with Gallagher. It's not enough.
I know that,
That's my problem.
I know that. That's me.
It's
like
not
we
enough.
know that. I don't trust me. These guys know I don't rate Gallagher. I'm probably one of his.
And yet you're still defending him in this conversation.
No, I'm just you got to be realistic and put yourself.
I am being realistic, man.
You're saying we all have players that start in our lineups that we believe that shouldn't be there, but coaches pick them. like there's a lot of games that I've seen that there's no need for Gallagher. I guess yes, injuries, but there's a lot of games where we had a healthy squad where he's still shoehorning Gallagher and put positions that we don't need him. Like we could easily put like a Palmer in the 10. You know what I mean? Go more offensive.
Can I say this? I am Pochettino. I've been Pochettino the entire season. So is Alex. So is Charlie with Chelsea Fan TV. Lewis from Chelsea Fan TV has absolutely not been. And I know this is a Chelsea Fan TV thing right now. But my thing with Poch is just because I want him to stay does not mean that I agree with everything that he's done. I don't agree with him prioritizing Gallagher over the health of this team. However, there's a caveat to that. And that is in the last 5 games, gentlemen, this midfield with Caicedo being allowed a destroyer next to him has shown to be a considerably better partnership than what has come previous. It's simply undeniable.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, look, I think the real turning point was the inverted Cucurella decision, you know, and that's helped massively in Caicedo being able to express to be further up the pitch. And the one thing I've noticed with Caicedo's game more so is that he's further forward, but he's also playing balls that we'd even expect Enzo to do with the little ones over the tops and left, rights through the middle, and that shows that he has the eye and the range to be able to even do that at a further forward period. So yeah, I agree. I think we do need to find someone I don't think we can always use the inverted role. I think we can use it as an option in games, but we do need to have someone that can sit, you know, like that's why Lavia is here, but someone that can actually sit so that Caicedo can express, you know.
Yes, so, Jem, this is what I'm seeing. If Lavia is fit, he can sit with Caicedo around him and perhaps an Nkunku or Palmer in front of him. And the Cucurella thing, it's not a gimmick, but it certainly helps at times. I don't want us to do it all the time because it will get figured out and we will get a ball over the left-hand side that will kill us. So let's not do that all the time. But if Lavia is sitting and Caicedo is still playing, I don't see a place for Enzo if we also want to play a third midfielder where it's Palmer or Nkunku.
Well, it depends how you play, though.
Depends how you play, doesn't it? If you're playing a 4-3-3, then you can fit Enzo and Caicedo as your 8s, can't you? But then you lose.
Right, but I don't think Pochettino wants to play a 4-3-3. I think he wants to play a 4-3-1 traditional 10.
Yeah, and I think we will do that in a lot of games. I just think against the Man Cities and the Liverpools and that, I've got a feeling he will play 3 in the middle. You know, they're the ones where I think he will try and make it hard. You know, when you're playing against teams that have got strong midfields, you know that the ultimately to win the game is going to be the battle.
Yeah, you got to win that battle.
Yes,
yeah, and I'm not saying
but Jim, I have to press you on this. If we do have Lavia and Caicedo fit,
yeah,
and we have Palmer, where does Enzo fit in the equation? I do have to press you on this because I know you're a Chelsea voice, and you know that I respect you.
Well, and you also know I like Enzo as well a lot. So this is the
No. I have to ask you because it is important, and this is going to be a challenging question for next season.
So my thing of the 4-2-3, like the way we've been playing at the moment, I do think it still falls down to who we're playing, because if we're at home up against a team that's going to ultimately play more majority of a low block or a mid block, I think we can still get away with an Enzo Caicedo. But where I'd play an Enzo and Caicedo is when I know that we're going to play an inverted Cucurella. So that means Enzo can still do what he needs to do further forward, and we don't have the pressing gaps that we've seen. Because when you look at the Aston Villa game at home, where we went 2-0 behind, away, when we went 2-0 behind, before we actually firstly made that inverted Cucurella decision, the pivot was Gallagher and Caicedo. It was a mess. And people were talking about Gallagher and Caicedo being the two that looked better than Enzo and Caicedo. But the difference nothing changed tactically. It was the same bullshit. The spaces were still massive. It was what he did in the second half of Cucurella being inverted in, which allowed Gallagher to be more next to Palmer as a 10, but to help to press and win balls higher, which is why we were taking the ball over quicker in that second half. And we got back in the game of Aston Villa because it worked. All I want to see is Enzo in the team with Caicedo, but with an inverted Cucurella. I don't think Lavia will play every game next season, in my opinion. There will be rotation in what we have to do.
Especially if we get Europe.
Because, and I'm not saying Lavia can't play ball. Have you seen Lavia on the ball? This guy.
Oh, he is very, very good. He's very good.
He's very good. Like, you know, but what it does give us is options, and I'd rather have these options. And Enzo might not play every game. Like maybe I want to see him in certain things, and that's fine. But as long as it's working in the midfield, you know, and I think we've got to have these options. We've got to at least have these options where we know it can work either that way, either that way. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we have that at the moment.
Yeah, but Jem, if it's working without Enzo, would you be okay with that?
Hold on. If we're winning games, wait, hold on. No. Can I respond to him? And the difference is when you have high quality players like this, you need competition for places, bro.
Of course.
We need the players to push each other to the maximum. Like our old Chelsea, we used to have Makelele, Essien, Ballack, Lampard, all in the one midfield. Like this is a good selection headache to have, rather than we get bare injuries again and we have nobody to select from. And I think stuff is game by game basis as well. And this is where I think managers really earn. Of course, you want a settled squad where you know the base of your team, but there's certain ways to approach certain games. You know, like for example, we seen against Nottingham Forest that they were privy to Cucurella inverting, so they block up the middle. So we just need to, you know, change the style of play and the way we play. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you this one question, because this matters to so many fans, and it should matter more than it does. There are younger fans that don't want this to be part of the conversation, but the amount of money that we spend for Enzo, it does equate into expectations. You talk about reputation, you talk about salary, and you talk about the amount of money that we paid for him. All of those things in a conglomeration create expectations.
Carlito, and the other thing I would say,
it's the same for Caicedo too.
Oh, yeah, but by the way, Caicedo has not exceeded expectations by any stretch, but I know that I see a player in him.
But it's crazy though, Carlito. That's what I'm saying. Like he's performing well and not getting his plaudits because of the price tag.
Brother,
you know what I mean?
Brother, you have to incorporate it because
I'm saying you should.
Yeah, but you have to, because it's reality.
I'm saying that. Yeah.
But when I look at Caicedo, I'm seeing someone that is absolutely going to fit long term in this team. I just simply don't see it with Enzo. I know Jem loves Enzo, and look, Enzo was nice on the ball, but you also have to incorporate the fact that this is the most physical, fast league in the world, and I just don't see it because the price tag dictates to me a world beater, someone that can walk on water, and I just don't see it with Enzo, man.
No, but then I thought he was very good when he first came to Chelsea, and I think we forget that period where he came in January, and as soon as he landed,
it was also the worst period of the club in the last 25 years. Yeah, man.
That's fine. But at the same time, he still stood out like a sore thumb, and you could see the quality from a mile away on the ball, moving the ball, carrying the ball. All of that was even at the beginning of this season against Liverpool at home, he absolutely bullied.
That was his best game ever as a Chelsea player.
Yeah, that was an amazing performance, but we can't ignore he's been carrying an injury. We just can't, because that him having injections and having to try and move around in a midfield position is not going to help him. Equally, his performances haven't been good enough this season. He has been under par, but to not get the best out of what I've seen already in Enzo Fernandez is not good for Chelsea, in my opinion. I think we could be even better with his qualities being shown in the team rather than it not. It's not like we're having like the thing with Gallagher, because we know he hasn't got. Gallagher's good off the ball, he works hard, but we know he hasn't got the quality to be effective.
Doesn't have the quality.
Enzo's different. Enzo, I know if you get him in the team flowing with Nkunku, Palmer, a striker, or whatever around it, he's just going to flourish, man. But
Jim, you're still talking about a midfield dynamic that doesn't include him, because this is mathematically impossible for you to want this with Enzo while also incorporate all the players that you love. Nkunku, Cole Palmer, one of the best players, young players I've ever seen. Brilliant. Jackson, who, by the way, will always start even if he's striker or left wing. You're talking about mathematically impossibilities with Enzo. I just don't see it, man.
The thing is, though, Carlito, you say that, but then the thing is, bro, listen, the fact that we've got these players, it allows us to be a little bit flexible depending on who we're playing.
Of course.
I just said the same shit like 10 minutes ago, bro.
Yeah, bro, literally, bro. If we're facing, I don't know, a Man City, for example, we want to play a 4-3-3. You can play a Caicedo, Enzo 2-8, Lavia as a 6. If you want to play a 4-2-3-1, you can play Nkunku in the 10, Palmer in the 10, Carney in the 10. You can even change the formation at half time. You can change it in the second half. Bro, it makes the team unpredictable. At the end of the day, we've got a lot of fragile players, bro. You know, people need to be rotated. You know, obviously for me, I want to see a similar sort of lineup every week. But if we need to make a tweak here and there with 1 or 2 players, but then the players that are coming in are still doing what they need to do and understand the role that they need to play, so be it, bro. Pep roulette's a thing,
brother. But
when it comes to picking Man City, hold on, Carlito, bro. Yeah.
All right,
when it comes to picking Man City players, when it comes to picking Man City players for my FPL, sometimes I struggle because it's not every game you see Foden starting. Even this season, we've seen KDB not starting every single game. There's only a few players that start week in, week out for Man City. Your Rodris, you know, your Haalands. But certain man, bro, they get rotated, and it's the same sort of thing. Like, I look at how Chelsea's being built right now, and I honestly think we're trying to take a leaf out of Man City's book. We're building basically 2 teams, an A team and a B team. Yeah, and that A team
is such a good point. It's such a good point. Everybody, what you just said is such a good point. We want 2 players for every position, right? And it's not even A and B. We want 2 competitive players for each position.
Yeah.
But it's such a good point because I've always thought this, probably since Sarri left, that Chelsea is trying to build the Man City model of 2 players for each position. We have it with the right back, right? Nkunku on the left with Mudryk, I think that we have that too. But what you're talking about with the midfield, you're talking about 3 positions, and I hear Jim and you and a bunch of other guys talking about 8 players, and I just don't see all of those 8 players in 3 positions because Cole Palmer or Nkunku are going to start at that attacking midfield position. So you've got 2 other positions, and I absolutely believe that Romeo Lavia on his day, when he's fit, will be that D mid. So Caicedo's going to be that other guy. It's just how I see it.
But that's what we're saying. We don't always have to play that system.
Yeah, but in the biggest games, bro. In the biggest games,
hold on. We against Man City, right? We had a midfield trio of Gallagher, Caicedo, and Enzo. That 1-1 at City. Up until about 70 minutes. I mean, we had an effective game plan. Enzo was defending all the stuff that you can do while making line breaking passes, while releasing players out on the width, and doing what he does.
We actually played Gallagher on the wing that game, Shabby.
Exactly. So, and then he's marking out Rodri. So it's like we're not saying these guys have to start damn near every game, but it's the rotation of these guys. You know what I mean? There's certain situation applies to certain games, like games where we don't need. We already have Caicedo, and like say a team's coming to sit and park up at the bridge, right? We don't need to go too defensive. We have like Enzo. And we don't need both, Lavia and Caicedo most of the time, even though I'll play them and not use Gallagher. But we can go a bit more attacking against Brentford, you know what I mean? But against some teams that we kind of need to play, pragmatic, or we need to have a certain game plan, then we rotate for that specific team. You get me?
My retort for this would simply be you're asking a $136 million player to be a luxury item. No, and I simply can't abide by that.
That's unfortunate, but that's what he is, though. People need to understand that not every single player.
Dude, that is tough to swallow.
The thing is, Carlito, look, at the end of the day, we understand, as Chelsea fans, we understand the context as to why we paid what we did for Enzo. Yeah, if we wanted to wait until the summer, cool, we could have got him cheaper. But now we're up against Real Madrid. Now we're up against Man City. Now we're up against Liverpool. Don't forget, we didn't make Europe. Right, we didn't make Champions League, so that would have been a struggle to try and persuade him to come when all these other clubs are offering him a better opportunity at this moment in time.
Wait, he would ball in Man City, by the way.
Right?
He would ball in Man City.
He would have gone somewhere else. And people need to understand that not every single player works in chaos, bro. If Enzo's a system player, that's fine. We've got bread, bro. We've got money to spend. Yeah, and we just need to make sure that we're building our team around players like Enzo, not players like Gallagher. Because Gallagher, like you lot.
Oh no! I think we're building a team around players like Caicedo and Palmer, man.
Yeah, Caicedo, Palmer, Enzo, all of these guys. That's the sort of level in terms of ability. On the
yeah, but I gotta be real with you, man. I gotta be real with you. Would you rather have Lavia, when fit, playing in the position that I want him to, and that I'm sure ownership and the manager wants him to, would you rather that with Caicedo and an attacking mid, or that with one alone? Would you choose Enzo over Caicedo? Because I'm not doing that. Absolutely not.
I've already said though, if we're starting Lavia, we have to play a 4-3-3. In my opinion, that means you play Caicedo.
Yeah. It's by the way, what he's talking about is a holding mid with two guys in front. By the way, neither one of them are attacking mids. They are simply sitting in front of him.
Yeah, but what they are is they're box to box, and they both shown that they can create in the offensive area, which is what we need. We want more creators for
exactly.
For the
other.
Yeah, but when you play that position, when you play that formation, you are absolutely nullifying the prospect of an attacking mid, which is what Cole Palmer is best.
They're not, but if you want to wear them, go.
No, but Cole Palmer can play on the right. I'm very well.
Well, of course, he can play any position.
But the thing about this,
position.
the thing about this, Carlito, you're making it sound like these players have to be fixed in that position.
I'm not. Hold
on. Let me just
unfair.
explain.
That's unfair.
Let me explain. When you play like the 4-3-3, you have Lavia at the base, right? The 6.
Sure.
You probably would have Caicedo and Enzo 8 and 8, right? And you have Palmer at the we've seen some games he's more effective on the right, and some games he's more effective in the middle. It depends. Yeah. And you have Nkunku, to me, I've always said he's better off the left. So you could have them either wide or come in as, drift in as like a left forward and a right forward. They don't have to be stationary touchline wingers most of the time. You know what I mean? Like the system is the system, but then as you're playing the game, players can interchange and take up certain positions during the game. Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, I can't see it right now, but as the game goes along, they're drifting and interchanging in different positions.
I totally agree with you about Nkunku. Nkunku could play anywhere across the front line.
But you're making it seem like
I'm not being rigid. I'm simply saying that in a 4-3-3, you're talking about two basically front midfielders in front of the D mid. Yeah. And I simply don't understand. Well, yeah, but here's the thing: is that if we want to also incorporate Madueke, then there is no room for Enzo.
Yeah, but that's where it becomes an option in rotation, and this is what we need at this club. We don't want to be.
Yeah, but Jem, do you want to rotate on your best game? On your best game, man?
No, but what I'm saying,
Carlito, everyone. I'm sure everyone on this panel, like as much as I like Madueke and I like how he takes on his man, everyone here knows Palmer's better than Madueke. Yeah, like if Palmer started ahead of Madueke on the right, no one's complaining. And then that's even a nice headache to have, because, for example, if you take off Palmer to manage his minutes, because Palmer's played a lot of minutes because we've had a shit bench, right? But let's say in an ideal world, Palmer comes off, right? You're bringing on Madueke up against a tired fullback. Madueke running out of fullback, bro. That's another headache, But
100%.
The level's not gonna be like, Palmer comes off and it's down here. Like Madueke coming on is still gonna be good enough to hold.
Can I introduce something into the situation that you guys have not considered? And that is, if we sign a striker, we will have the best left wing in England in Nicholas Jackson. Because there are fans in this Chelsea fan base that shit on Nicholas Jackson. Whereas I'm looking at a guy that is one of the most, and let me finish. This is one of the most irrepressible, fast, unguardable players in English football. I know he doesn't finish as well as everybody wants him to, but if you watch him with the ball, he is a brilliant footballer. And I am tired of people saying that he sucks, because he doesn't. And if we sign a striker, Nicholas Jackson is going to play left wing for Chelsea. There's no way he's not going to play.
I think again, it just listen. Nicholas Jackson's strengths is in a deeper position for me. It's the receive the ball, turning, carrying the ball, linking play, helping.
So good, Jim. Don't you think he's good?
Very good from that. What lets him down, which is maybe not his fault, maybe where he's still young and that. It's just when he's in and around the box, it's that instinct of being a killer striker, like finishing your chances, where to position yourself.
You want to draw another picture on the back?
He's just not good at doing it.
Yo, couch, your mic.
Yeah, it's just life right now, bro. It's just life.
I know. That's why.
Right now, like, what do I really?
Is he talking or is he talking to someone else? I can't work out.
No, I'm listening to you guys like argue about Enzo and whether or not he has a place in this squad. Of course, he has a place, man. Like,
Couch, what do you think?
Well, it's clear. Like, we have a squad. Like, I don't understand how we think that we can't find games. It's horses for courses. You know, like when you think about the strongest Chelsea teams that we've had two players that were international stars at each position. We haven't had that in so long. We've been so starved for that for so long that we've been so starved for that for so long. We forgot what it feels like to have an actual squad. You know, an actual squad of players that are fantastic from 1 to 11, from 12 to 24. You know, like it's just the nature of things. We want that. This is exactly
like look at the Reece James Gusto situation.
Let me just add to that as well, yeah. And one thing, Carlito, that you need to understand, like for me, I think the biggest concern when you've got a big squad is, you know, a lack of rotation, and obviously some players coming out disgruntled because they're not getting enough game time. You're always going to get that. But if you're in a winning team like a Man City, bro, how often do you ever hear anyone complaining about lack of game time, bro? Mahrez would never complain. Foden would never complain. Bernardo Silva, if he doesn't start, you'll never complain. Because you know that when it's time for you to come and do your thing, you're going to get called up on. And you know that you're going to end up with trophies at the end because the squad is strong. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where we need to make sure, yeah, that we're using the squad adequately. Obviously, next season, I'm hoping that we don't have as many injuries because what happens with injuries, Poch just loves to use that as an excuse. Yeah, it's the reality, cool, but top coaches always find a way. It's all about problem solving. When you pay the money that you want. But honestly, bro, hold on, Carlito. Honestly, for me, how I look at it, like Couch said, we need a big squad, bro. And like I've said, we already have problems in terms of injuries, bro. Yeah, I don't trust our squad to stay fit. You know, and Cuckoo right now, yes, he looks great on paper, but do we know if he's going to stay fit all season? I highly doubt it. Enzo, what if he comes back and then he has the same problem with his hernia? You know, we could have again more injuries.
Lavia could reoccur an injury. You know what I mean? You don't know.
You need to Lavia as well. He's still growing into his body. You need to be prepared for situations like this because if we have more, you know, if we have the same headache like last time, where it's like, okay, we've got a good squad, good 11 or good 13 players, but then after that, you're looking at your bench and you're looking at Washington's, you're looking at, you know, players that Poch doesn't trust. It's going to be the same fuckeries again, bro. The same fuckeries again.
Yeah, but I gotta be real with you. I gotta be real with you, bro.
If everyone's fit, it might be a bigger headache then. But,
yeah, but honestly, I gotta be real with you, bro. Over the last 3 years,
if this team is winning together and winning trophies together, bro, if you want to move on and go somewhere else to get more game time, so be it. Depending on who it is, innit? You know what I'm saying? But I don't see top players like Lavia and that not getting game time, bro. I just don't see it.
Over the last 3 years, Chelsea has been quoted as the most injurious team in European football. I am not using this as an excuse or scapegoat for why Poch has not delivered at Chelsea, but I am at least providing context because that absolutely matters, especially this season where you've got Ten Hag saying, "Oh, we got all these injuries." No, Chelsea has twice as many injuries as Man United. Now, here's the thing: when you buy players like Wesley Fofana, who I still believe will become one of the best defenders we have, when you can't play him, that matters. When you can't play Reece James, captain of the team, best right back in the world, it matters. When you can't play Malagusto, it matters. When you can't play Christopher Nkunku, who is clearly awesome. Everybody sees it. He's awesome. We all love it. We can't wait for him to play more. When he can't play, it fucking matters. So look, I'm going to give him a special dispensation that I normally wouldn't to a Chelsea manager. With Poch, he's got to have another season, of course. If he comes back with bullshit and he's got a healthy team, he's gone. But, 100%. Bro, you absolutely have to incorporate context into the situation. It absolutely matters. We cannot shy away from the fact that even though everybody's mad, I'm mad, you're mad, Jem is mad, Alex is mad, Lewis with his puffy jacket is super mad, it still has to matter within the context of what we have been dealing with. It does matter.
What matters? I'm sorry. The injuries, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, just look. If we had our best team, coach, and you're a rational guy, and I love talking with you. You're a rational guy. If we had our best team, we would probably be third. We wouldn't be first. We wouldn't win the league, but we would probably be third. We simply bought all these players that we haven't been able to use, coach. This is
I
simply
think
how I
Nkunku would have scored the chances that we have missed, and I've even said on match
100%.
reactions today.
100%.
I'm not sure about third. I just think that we would have been, because we still have an experienced squad, and I just don't think that we had enough experience to get us into that top 4 positions. But
context matters, does it not, man? Come on,
we did
man.
though, but they just weren't fit.
No, I mean, like throughout the whole
we had
squad.
over 300 million pound worth of.
By the way,
talent.
Couch,
That
I'm
didn't
not
play,
making excuses for the manager or this team. I am simply presenting the reality of the situation.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm
I
just
think
saying.
Couch knows that though.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked us for even top 4 just because the squad was just so young, inexperienced, and a lot of the growing pains that we experienced, even in the first like 18 games. Poch learning the squad. The injuries and whatnot. Like just Poch learning the squad in general and knowing how to use them and whatnot. This is not his team. Keep in mind, all of that is what led me to believe that there's no way we're going to finish in the top 4.
This is what I said earlier. This is what I said earlier on the stream that me and Jem did. Like with top 4, every single season we always talk about how this team wants to give it to that team, and that team wants to give it to that team. Because the lower you go in the league, the more inconsistent teams are. You know what I'm saying? We've been so bad. We've been so bad this season, and we're 8 points behind Aston Villa. And we can pick out games. Villa fans can probably pick out games where tactically Emery didn't do something, but overall Emery's been more consistent than Poch, right? Hence why they're back into Europe. But for us, bro, as bad as we've been, it's only now, right? As much as we're the 4th best team in 2024, whatever. It's only the past few games where I've been having a little bit more belief, a little bit more confidence because of how we've been set up. We were picking up results early on in the year, but how we was winning these games or how we was drawing these games, it wasn't good. It was Cole Palmer FC. You know what I'm saying? And that's because of how we were set up. So honestly, bro, we are on 60 points right now, We're not far from Aston Villa, bro. And there's bare games where we're looking more at Poch than the players. And there's certain games, like you're right, where we're looking at the players where they're missing chances. But that's where, like Jem said, if we had Nkunku, we win more of those games. Do you know what I'm saying? So honestly, bro, saying we would have got top 4 is really, it's not unrealistic, bro. It's definitely.
No, I'm just saying I didn't predict it. The reason why I didn't predict it is because you're saying Aston Villa. Like you look at this Chelsea side. This Chelsea side is the youngest in Europe. One of the youngest in Europe. So like with young teams, like you get inexperience, you get the gaps, you get the details. They're not focused on the details all the time. You get like a lack of cohesion, a lack of understanding. All of that stuff happens with young squads. Regardless of how much we paid for these players. Let me just finish. Let me just finish. I understand there's been moments in this season where, Poch fucked up and we didn't end up getting the right result, or we didn't set up the team right. But at the same time, we also didn't have games where the youthfulness of this team have kept us from winning games. The inexperience. The details, guys in the box in the last minute of the game.
Couch, can you elaborate on those guys in the box, please?
Well, everyone knows how I feel about Badia Shield. Like he came on the 94th minute. I can't remember who it was against.
He barely even played, man.
No. Let him finish. I want to hear this. No, I want to hear this.
But that's one of those games, though. You guys remember what I'm talking about? That 94. He comes on the 94th minute. He in the 94th minute. He loses the header.
Couch, that is not the only guy in the box. That is, of course, I do. That's not the only guy in the box.
Yeah, but Couch,
I'm just saying it was his responsibility.
Just to take it back a little bit, I understand what you're saying about the young team. We know that. But that's why, again, going back to the summer, is why I said bring in Poch, because he's got experience with working with young players. And I said from the summer, when I was going on the terrace, people were telling me, Hannah, the United fan, she was telling me, just give a little bit more time. You lot are impatient. Because start of the season in September, you already had a lot of people saying Poch out. And for me, I was like, bro, I'm going to give him more time to rectify his mistakes. But every single person that wanted him out, I couldn't even defend it, because I could see why they wanted him out, because he kept doing mad things. And I said, if he carries on doing this, we will not make top 6, and we're not going to build no chemistry and no cohesion. Just saying that doesn't mean anything. You need to actually make it so easy for them. Like I said, they're kids. Like you said, they're kids. They need to be on the easiest platform as possible to build chemistry, bro. Playing Levi Cole at left back is not going to help him build any chemistry or cohesion. And then playing Chilwell in front of him is not going to build any chemistry or cohesion. Playing Enzo as a 10 is not going to build no chemistry and cohesion. Playing Thiago Silva every single week when he's nearly 40 years old is not going to build any chemistry and cohesion. And that is down to the manager deciding to play those people in those positions. And that's why I kept telling you, he's digging his own grave. I said it from the summer. and he's digging his own grave, right? And it's only now that he's decided to fix up is when he's even now we're scrambling for Europe. We've basically got it, but it's like we could have actually got top 4 if we were serious from the beginning. So end of the day, yes, he's got a young squad. That's on the owners for building that squad. But he took the job knowing what he walked into, right? And he's used the tools that he's had incorrectly. No one can tell me that Matson couldn't do a better job here than Levi Cole. No one's going to tell me that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to play Gallagher. Like Xavi has already said, Gallagher don't need to be playing in every single game. Remember that first game when we played?
But he does when he's the only one fit.
No. Let me let my point.
There's players where we had players fit and he still played, bro.
Remember when we
because he trusts them.
Oh wait, the first.
Well, he didn't need to play.
Hold on, Xavi. Yeah, the first game when we played Middlesbrough away, we were so bad that game. We played Cole Palmer as a 9. We played Gallagher I think we even played Gallagher as a 10 or whatever. We lost that game 1-0. Yeah, and during that period, Gallagher was smelling for weeks, but he kept playing, kept starting. What happens the following game? Poch drops him, plays Palmer in the 10, plays Enzo and Caicedo in the pivot. We batter Middlesbrough 6-1. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just to me, that's a symbolization of you didn't need this guy in every single situation, because people say, it's only Middlesbrough, but we lost to them the first game, bro, and Gallagher started. The second game when he got taken out of the lineup and we were set up better, right, with better options, we played a lot better, and we literally battered Middlesbrough. When he took him out of the 10 against Everton, right, we battered Everton 6-0. Do you know what I'm saying? So end of the day, like I said, I get it.
Jem's got to go.
They're not great, but the manager, as much as the players could have done more in front of goal, the manager could have done more tactically, and people like to miss that.
Greasy Don, Jem's got to go. By the way, I followed you, Greasy Don. You're hilarious, and I fucking love you, man. By the way, you can come on my podcast anytime, my man.
That's my boy, Greasy Don.
Oh,
Greasy,
he's hilarious.
You know why you call him Greasy? Because he's always got egg on his face, man.
Brother, yeah, but you know what? The guy that has the balls to call himself Greasy Don, that's my type of guy. I've got a question for the panel before Jem's got to go, and that is very simple. Conor Gallagher, for me, a technically deficient player. Someone that I believe hurts the team if you have Lavia, Caicedo, either Nkunku or Cole Palmer, who is, in my opinion, the best player in the country. I think that Conor Gallagher hurts the team in the long run. What say the panel about what we're going to do with the guy that is apparently the captain of this fucking team?
I think you're muted.
I said, anyone going to answer?
Jem, you were on mute when you asked that question.
Sorry, I was eating. I'm eating at the moment.
So Jem, what are we going to do with Conor Gallagher? Because honestly, there are reasons why we want to sell him. People say pure profit. I hate that because it's just jargon. The guy is going to be worth probably £50 million.
Yeah, 50 million. Yep.
Right? All right. So if we sell him, I think that it'll get us money, but I think it will also make us better. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I think that I'm not wrong.
So the question is, should we sell Gallagher? Is that what we're saying right now?
Yes.
I think he would. It depends what we do with like the Santoses and the Leslies and all these, because like they're still on the. What are we doing with it? What is the idea with these players for me? Because like if they were going to be in the team for development and they're going to be a part of this team, then fine. That means we're going to have numbers. You sell it. You know, if it's the case that they're going to be loaned out and we're going to be left with 3 midfielders that, let's be serious, could get injuries, could whatever, then I don't see what the issue is with just having Gallagher here as, even though you said, and I get that, he's been playing a lot of football, why he can't just be a bench player. However, under this management, Pochettino, like what Xavi said, I don't think he sits on the bench or holds bench.
No, and by the way, he would never.
That's my problem.
So now he becomes a problem. This is the issue. So that's what I don't want. So I think they're going to sell him. I think he's gone. They've not been talking to him about contracts or anything like that. They've left it to the last minute. Like they might maybe after wait and sort it out, but I've got a feeling they're going to sell him. He's going to go.
The thing is, Jem, for me, with Gallagher, listen, he deserves to get a new contract. Yeah. But like Xavi has said, bro, this Poch guy is scary. He could just, again, keep starting him, leaving guys that were, why is Carney not starting more? Because Gallagher. Why is this guy not starting more? Because Gallagher. right? And let's be real, if Gallagher didn't play for Chelsea and he was performing like this for a different team, our owners, the type of players that they like, the profile players they like, they are not looking at a Conor Gallagher. Right? We'll get on perfectly fine without him, bro. It's not the end of the world. I'm sorry. It's not the end of the world. As much as he's improved, of course he's going to improve because you've got a manager that's literally building around you and helping you, you know, and playing the sort of football that you like. Do you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I checked the stats here the other day. Bro, this guy's got the most fouls. Yeah, the most fouls. So this pressing thing, cool, he presses well, but the way he does it ain't smart, bro. It's not like
you could just beat him with one pass, bro.
Yes, bro. And he leaves so many holes, like Jem was saying, yeah, against Brighton. He presses, he just leaves Enzo and Caicedo. That's what he was doing this season. Leaving them, and then they beat him, they beat the press, and all of a sudden now you've got Enzo and Caicedo in Poch's Island. That's what I've been calling it this season, Poch's Island.
Even when Carney was fit, they wasn't playing him.
Yeah, wasn't even playing him then. You know what I mean? So for me, like I said, if Gallagher stays, I'm happy for him to stay as a squad player. But I just don't trust him playing, you know, not starting on the bench under Poch. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. So if he moves on and we sell him, I'm sleeping well at night, innit? Whatever team he goes to, I'm not scared. Put it that way. I'm not scared, bro.
And I actually think I would love for it to be another team's problem, kind of Conor Gallagher, because he frustrates the hell out of me. And I know a lot of things that he does, you may think he's adding to the team, but a lot of stuff that he does is a negative to the team. Like certain times when we need a 10 that could turn on the ball and, you know, not afraid, like a guy's on his shoulder or something, to like just pass it straight back. I know he's going to bring that to that team. If we have a player, a better player who's not afraid to turn on the ball, you know, has the vision and IQ to keep the game going, because that's when the improvement at the beginning of the season, players improve. It's because he wasn't doing that dumb mistakes. So like he's getting the ball, he's releasing it and playing more simple. You know what I mean? Before he would take the touches and lose it in dangerous positions often. Yep. And this is the problem. You know what I mean? Like
look who's below you as well. Look who's below you. People forget about him. Look who's below you. Andre Santos, bro.
Oh, yo, I'm watching it from Strasbourg,
bro. That's what I'm saying.
He's a baller. Man, a baller.
Yo, both of you. Andre Santos is so much better than Conor Gallagher when it comes to touch, when it comes to
he's a football
being
player,
a midfielder and a footballer, a legitimate footballer. He is simply a better player than Conor. Conor Gallagher tries hard. I have to give him that. And by the way, nothing replaces effort. But guess what? Trying hard and trying smart are two separate things. You can try hard while also being a good player. Conor Gallagher doesn't have the
Cole Palmer, bro.
Oh, bro. Cole Palmer, you guys
his pressing is underrated.
Cole Palmer presses just as hard as Conor Gallagher. Like, what are you talking about? Conor Gallagher
and he baits you too.
Presser than, dude, Cole Palmer also, like what you just said, he baits them into making this clever pass and he snakes it from them. He takes it. He's so good at pressing. So don't tell me that Conor Gallagher tries harder than these other players. He doesn't. He doesn't.
And the thing is, yeah, like what it is as well, Carlito, when you've got more technical players on the pitch, it means that you retain the ball more, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, man.
You don't need to keep pressing. You don't need to keep pressing to win it back because you're gonna have most of the possession. Sorry, you know. And Andre Santos, bro, that's another guy in preseason.
Oh, a ball retention player, great touch, dude. Great touch.
Bro,
great
he can play as a 6, he can play as an 8. The way he counter presses is good as well.
Absolutely.
Damn, Jim, I know you gotta go. I want to make one.
I know, Jeff. By the way, we apologize for having a really good conversation. That's all.
Dead dog.
Listen, I wish we had more time, to be fair, but we'll listen, next week I've got 5 shows back to back next week.
Hey, Jeff, can I say thank you for allowing me on, man. It was actually a real pleasure.
Good to have you on, man. It's always good to have you on, Carly.
No, dude, listening to these two guys and Couch. I know Couch. You guys are great. I mean, I was like, Greasy Don, I'm immediately following you. You're awesome. So, come on, man. Jam, this was really fun, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Jammy,
I'll shout you as well, Carlito. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, the conversation kind of dead, but I was gonna say it's the way we play also that makes Conor Gallagher so important to the squad. So you're playing a transitional game with someone who can, you know, is ably to win the ball transitionally, I guess. However you want to say it. Sorry for my baby crying in the back. Of course he's gonna look that much better. But say you're playing a game where we keep the ball, that's where Enzo looks better. You know what I mean? So it's how you suit the players that we have and how we play. That's all I just wanted to say.
And when you look at, and I'll finish it off saying this, when you look at how we do play under Pochettino, we're a team that has a lot of possession of the ball, that likes to move the ball quickly, and off the ball likes to press high. So I don't think there's a problem with Enzo being further up the pitch pressing, providing behind is protected. And this is why I want to see, if we're not going to play Lavia in games and it's Caicedo, I want to see
You see that there?
Zerbi's gone. Zerbi left, is he? Let's have a quick look.
No way.
What? What do you think? What happened?
Zerbi's left.
We need
I
you.
lie.
We need you.
Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go. Before I leave, there you go. This is a big call. Brighton have confirmed that head coach Zerbi will leave the club after tomorrow's final.
Shut the fuck up. He's going to Bayern Munich. Calling it right now. Yeah. He's going to Bayern Munich. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I had a feeling he was always leaving, though. The way he was speaking.
Wow.
And this is why you don't listen to the men just saying, yeah, I want to stay with this. They always chat bare foolishness, dog. Like, he was leaving. He doesn't rate, like, Brighton are a sell club. He wants to maintain it. And I feel like Zerbi is a good coach, but he loses a lot of players. It's impossible.
But why say it then? Yeah, but I got to be real with you, bro. Why say it?
My bad, Jem. My bad.
It's all right.
Why say? All right. I know you got to go, but why say you're going to stay if you're going to fucking leave? Just
man. PR.
It's like when players are in contract and they don't say anything, but then they're gone like 6 months later. It's funny.
Yeah,
and he probably knows his players will switch off.
Anyway, guys, we have got the match reaction to the Bournemouth game on Monday afternoon. And then next week, we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 shows back to back to back to back. We're breaking down the end of season review from goalkeeper to defence on Tuesday, Wednesday, midfield, Thursday, forwards, Friday, manager. So 5 days of pure streams for you back to back to back. It's going to be a busy one. Then we're going to transfer talk. So big up to everyone. Carlito, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you being here. Don as well. Make sure you give him a follow, guys. Is that Breezy Don as well? Give Carlito a follow as well, guys. Javi as well. Give them all a follow. And we will be back to talk more Chelsea. End of season Chelsea after the match reaction. More detailed in terms of what players we keep and get rid of, and manager and all this stuff. But first, we've got to win tomorrow, right? Let's go and win tomorrow, and then we go from there, guys. Big up, take care of yourselves. See you later, guys. Peace.